Hello, beautiful people. Honest Am here, the creator of the Honestly Sis newsletter, a bi-weekly newsletter geared towards people who are truly trying to get their shit together. And I am here for another daily motivational video where we use the tarot to become the alchemists of our lives. A little bit about me. I do not just use the tarot. I use God and cusses in the same sentence, and I may mispronounce some things, but if it does not stop showing man of God, it will not stop me. Angel number 24 and angel number 9. Let's get into it. God, what messages do you have for us to become? Oh my gosh. My card just messed up. They still messed up. Lord. I think I'm going to have to use my other card. Okay. No, I think I got him. Okay. Oh, what the hell? I hate when this happens. Sorry, guys. Make sure you check out the description box below. There are always additional messages, angel numbers, as well as information about booking at honestlysis.com. Also, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up or subscribe so you'll never miss a beat. All right, God, what messages do you have for us to help bring heaven on earth, to become the alchemist of our lives, or just to create change? If any of our guardian answers, guardian angels of beings of light like to come in, know that they are more than welcome. Card that pops out is Earth Guide. Ooh. All right. Let's check this out. Angel number 135. The card that popped out is Earth Guide. Your sacred calling upon this earth is simply to love and be loved. And so for some reason, the message that I was getting right away is that this is for a certain person who has been having a rough in relationships. And like, you may just feel like, you know, you're not lovable, or maybe because you're overweight, or maybe because you're dark skinned, or maybe because you think your hair, whatever it is, your face, whatever it is, you know, like maybe you have a freckle on your face and you feel like, oh, this is why. Or maybe you thought like because of how you grown up, but God is saying, fuck all of that bullshit. You are worthy of love simply because of your existence, simply because you are here. And my dear, I want to ask you to please go check out my archive section and look at expectations, bad habits, and family patterns. Read that letter, because a lot of that letter really, I was able to really understand how, you know, my favorite childhood movie was Beauty and the Beast, and how that informed, on top of the relationship that I had with my father, informed all of my other relationships. And I really had to come to terms with realizing that I always thought I had to earn love or perform for love. But that's not the case. And sometimes it's hard for me to even accept that people do really genuinely love me. Like, honestly, to be completely honest, like that was a big thing in my past relationship, was because my partner was just like, why can't you get that? I just fucking love you. Like, you know, like just who you are, like no gimmicks, no nothing. And so I feel like God is saying, instead of pushing people away, or instead of just feeling like you're unlovable, or that you have to keep having these, you know, string of, you know, faceless men, or no, you know, not having a really fulfilling relationship, God is just saying to just take a moment to look inside of yourself and know that you are worthy of love simply because of who you are. Underneath this is release, and God is saying, release anything that keeps you from your path of authenticity. So again, God is saying, this idea that you're not good enough, or that you are not deserving of love, the reason why it feels so bad, the reason why you feel these inks, is because it's not true. We have to start realizing that these feelings of uncomfortability or just like aggravation is coming up because our body is saying something about that is not authentic to ourselves. I remember I was a big church, well, not really a big church kid, but well, I guess I was. My mom, when I was like in the 7th grade, I woke up one day and she was like, we're going to go to church. And we became church people. And we were in this church where they were just like super strict, like, oh, you can't, you know, you can't listen to hip hop, you can't watch, you know, circular music, you can't all this. And I was just like, it was just something in me like that. Like, I don't get why God don't like Jay-Z, you know, like that was just something like, I was just like, I don't understand why God wouldn't like me to do these things. Like, why were they created if I wasn't supposed to do it? And so if there are things that have been coming up from you, like from your childhood, that you may have naturally just gravitated towards, like, you know, maybe somebody has told you that you were selfish and you're not giving, and you you know, they said that to you so much that you thought that that was your truth, and you look at your life, you're like, that's not true. Like, I'm very giving. I love people. Like, God is just saying, just examine your beliefs, examine where you got them from, and to let go of anything that is not true for you. That's the process of advancement. That's the process of really changing your life, of becoming an alchemist, is by staying true to you and walking your own path, no matter how it looks to the outside world. And how you do that is by following the voice on the inside. All right, God. Give us a blah, 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 blah. God, clarify this message of, sorry guys. God is asking me to switch up my cards. God, clarify this message of earth, guide, and release. God, clarify this message of earth, guide, and release. What do you want us to know about being on this earth, God? What do we need to know about being worthy of love and releasing those old habits that are no longer serving for us? Angel number 549. Make it as clear as possible, God. Clear as possible. Couldn't get any more clear. So I feel like what God is saying, again, we have I'm not going to say again, but we have the devil card that came out along with the 9 of staffs. And so let's start with the 9 of staffs. When we see the 9 of staffs, we see somebody who is very defensive, very on guard. They're ready to pounce. Look like they're ready for war. They're standing guard. And so what God is saying is that he doesn't want you to be on guard. He wants you to kind of let your guards down. He wants you to, this actually came out reversed. So he wants you to let your guard down. Allow yourself to be loved. Allow yourself to feel your feelings. Do not be a slave to the devil. Do not be a slave to, these limiting beliefs. Don't be afraid to dive into that ocean of your emotions. Sometimes I look at this card and I see somebody being loud and wrong. That's not the purpose. God is saying release that. If it's no longer serving for you, release that. I remember it's so funny. I was like talking to my partner, or my ex-partner. I don't know what the fuck we are. Angel number 711, but I was talking to him and he said some stuff to me that, though it really hurt my feelings and it really made me feel a type of way, I had to once I got off the phone with him and just thought about it, I was like, damn, he's right. I can be somebody who don't think that I'm lovable. Angel number 730. I can constantly be defensive and not let my guard down. And so I realized to become who I ultimately want to be, which is the Queen of Cups, somebody who's able to completely transmute her emotions and who's in touch with her intuition and her spiritual side, and also getting her coin. I really want to become that person. I'm going to have to carry myself in a different way. I'm going to have to release these habits and these beliefs that are no longer serving for me. This card that is also looking up is Inner World, Angel number 805, and it says your external world is a reflection of your inner world. And so what I'm really starting to come to understand is that I used to think this, but I'm really starting to get this way, that if I need to change my life, it's not about worrying about the external world. So it's not about me, trying to put myself on Tinder. It's not about none of that shit. But if I really want to have the partner and to have literally the life that I desire, be the creative that I am, it's not about me slaving over social media or trying to get people to buy into me. It's about doing the fucking work. And the work can be, you sitting your ass down at your chair and working on your manuscript, or the work could be you sitting your ass down and diving within yourself and figuring out what your limiting beliefs, figuring out what that monkey on your back is, figuring out what's stopping you from being the best person that you can be. And so I really feel like God really wants you to let your guard down, know that you're worthy of love. Look at a lot of your self-limiting beliefs. Look at the sabotaging ways that you may have, the ways that you set fires in your lives, the way that you block people out and keep people from really getting close to you. And he's asked you to release all that, have the strength to release all of that so that you can become the Queen of Wands and get that ultimate happy ending that you wanted in the end. The thing that we have to understand is that everything, the world is nothing but our mirror. It's nothing but a mirror. And so if your life isn't going the way that you want it to go, it's not because of all the other people that's around you. It's really about yourself. Okay? I really want you to take that and understand it's nobody can get you where you want to be outside of yourself. And this other card that is looking at to me is I am a creator. Everything around me began as a thought. My clothes, my homes, and even the roads I drive on were once just thoughts. When I take the time to contemplate my surroundings, I grasp all the thoughts that took place to create the world. Likewise, my thoughts have created things. My thoughts create my actions and therefore create my life as I know it. Therefore, I strive to think about my desires optimistically. I am a creator, Angel number 1025. And so another message that I was getting when I was reading this is that you have kind of, because of these limiting beliefs, because of, these old ways, these bad habits, all of, all this toxic shit, you kind of created a self prison. And so God is saying, just the way that you created this vision, this prison, the way that you kind of held yourself in, played small, you have the opportunity to bloom outwards and to really go after the life that you want. All right, God, angel number 1050. God, give us a tool that we can use to know that we are worthy of love, to release these limiting beliefs, to die to the devil, to face the devil, to let our guards down. How can we do this, God? How can we release the things that are no longer serving for us so that we can transform our outside world, God? Please make it as clear as possible. One card, please. Angel number 1123. I can see my eyes through source. Angel number 1133. So that's when you look at your eyes through source, that means anything that is happening to your life is happening for you and not to you. It's meaning that you're realizing that you have the power to transform your world. So if anything is not going the way that you don't want it to go, then you have the power to change that within yourself. With the main focus that God wants you to understand is that your life is only going to be as good as you allow it to be. Many people focus upon unwanted things and with no deliberate attention to the emotional guidance system within them. Remember, I was starting this up with your life not feeling bad. And then they try to compensate for them with lackful thinking with action. So you don't feel like your life is going bad. You don't like the way that your life is going. You are, instead of like paying attention to that, you are on social media just complaining about it, knowing that you're drawing more and more of those experiences into your life. And then they try to compensate for that lackful thinking with physical action. And so despite you complaining about your life, you're always complaining about how bad your life is to your family and your friends. But yet on your social media and in your journal, you're posting affirmations and saying those things. They don't work. You can't complain and be positive at the same time. You have to have all of those things in alignment. And because of this misalignment of energy, they do not get the results of their actions. And so they try to work harder by offering more actions, but things still do not improve. Also, to break this down, what God is trying to say is that for some of you guys, for you creatives out there, you've been working very hard. You've been putting yourself out there, but deep down inside, you don't feel like you're worthy of attention. You don't feel like you're worthy of abundance. And so because you don't feel like you're worthy of attention, you're worthy of abundance, you're working yourself to death. But yet you're not seeing any tangible benefits. And God is saying you're not seeing it because you don't really believe it deep down inside. And so what God is saying, you can't fake it with him. You get what you believe. So what he's asking you to do, instead of keep forcing it and keep going harder and harder, take time out, sit, pause, think about your life. Think about what your emotions is telling you and move that way. I actually personally came to the conclusion that I'm not fucking with social media no more. Like I'm not even, putting myself on my IG stories. Like I'm done with that. Like my job is to simply show up and do the work. God's job is to bring the audience. And so I feel like what God is saying, change the way that you're looking for yourself. If you really truly feel like you are great and if you feel like I feel like the industry needs me, and not the other way around, then things will start attracting to you differently. So God is really asking you to get clear on what your belief system is and what you believe to be true about yourself. Last thing, like the air you breathe, abundance in all things is available to you. Your life is simply as good as you allow it to be. So just one last message, and then I'm going to wrap this up. God, what happens if we realize that we are completely worthy of love? What happens if we drop our guards down, release those limiting beliefs, and allow ourselves to know that abundance is available to us like the air we breathe, God? What happens if we go inwards to transform our external world? What happens if we take on this attitude, God? Make it as clear as possible. One card, please. As clear as possible, God. Small successes are likely now and bigger ones are on the way. Financial success can improve drastically. And so that's what God is saying. God is saying, you don't like how things are going. If you have been a creative and you've been on this path and it has not been going the way that you want, you haven't been seeing people just effortlessly attracted to your life, I want you to really get serious about what your belief is. Who do you believe you are? Do you really believe you're as good as you brag you are, as you brag like you are on IG? It's just like that Rick Ross quote. I watch your actions, not that captions on that shit you post, okay? Let's stop talking and be about that action, all right? So let's clarify this message to put this all together in a bow. God is saying that your job here is to simply be and to simply be love and know that you're worthy of abundance. You're worthy of abundance like the air you breathe. God is saying, drop down your defenses. Your life is only going to be as good as you allow it to be. So really release these limiting beliefs, these things that are holding you back from being your best self. Start looking at the world through the eyes of source, which means that anything that isn't going right, go inwards to transform it outwards. If you do that, then small personal riches will start coming your way, and then eventually your life will shift to a completely new plane. But the choice first starts with you. Will you be a creator or a fool? All right, y'all. That is all the messages I have for you. Angel number 1640. Namaste. Create wisely. Create consciously. Choose wisely. If you made it to the end of this message, please give me a thumbs up. If not, give me your key takeaways. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. You got this, y'all. Bye.